Honorable members, I have one announcement to make, and the announcement is to the effect that I wish to acquaint the House with the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of the following members of the Portfolio Committee on Women Affairs, Community and Small to Medium Enterprises Development, and staff from the Parliament of Zimbabwe. Honorable Chindo Madiwa, MP, Chairperson and Leader of the Delegation. Honorable Brian Dube, MP, Member. Honorable Christopher Chingosho, MP, Member. Honorable Lindiwe Mapasa, MP, Member. Honorable Elizabeth Shongeza, MP, Member. Mr. Marina Magova, Senior Researcher. And Mr. Lavmo Majoni, Committee Clerk. I wish on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia to receive our distinguished guests and warmly welcome them in our midst. You are welcome. I thank you. The next item is the now most popular item on our agenda. Matters of urgent public importance. We start, like we did yesterday, I will deal with each one as it is raised so that we don't miss out on anything. We start with the Honorable Member for Shiwangando.
Most obliged, Madam Speaker. The matter of urgent public importance I'm trying to raise is a constitutional one and is directed to the Honorable Minister of Finance.
You may proceed, Honorable Member.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, like I've stated, the matter I'm trying to raise is a constitutional one, and with your indulgence, I'll make reference to the Constitution. Madam Speaker, Article 201 of the Constitution, withdraw from the consolidated fund. Article 201, Subarticle 1, I quote, monies shall not be withdrawn from the consolidated fund except A, to meet expenditure charged on the consolidated fund by this Constitution or as prescribed, or B, where the issuance of these monies has been authorized by a warrant signed by the President, an Appropriation Act, or a Supplementary Appropriation Act in accordance with Article 203. Further, Madam Speaker, Article 203, Subarticle 4, states, and I quote, where there is an urgent need to incur expenditure for a purpose that has not been appropriated under the Appropriation Act of that financial year, and it would not be in the public interest to delay the appropriation of the expenditure until a supplementary estimate is approved by the National Assembly, in accordance with clauses 2 and 3. The President may, subject to Article 204, issue a warrant authorizing the expenditure and withdraw from the consolidated fund. Subarticle 5, Madam Speaker, the Minister responsible for finance shall present a warrant for referred to in clause 4 to a relevant parliamentary committee for approval. 6, a parliamentary committee shall consider a warrant within 48 hours of its presentation by the Minister responsible for finance. And lastly, 7, where expenditure is incurred in accordance with clause 4, the Minister responsible for finance shall, in that financial year, lay an excess expenditure appropriation bill before the National Assembly for enactment. Madam Speaker, as you have clearly heard, There's no money that should be spent by any spending agency without being appropriated by this institution. There has been a debate, Madam Speaker, of late, of some money to the tune of 65 million having been spent by a ministry without this procedure being followed. Is the Honorable Minister of Finance in order to sit there quietly looking at me without coming to this August House, Madam Speaker, and explain through this August House to the nation how that money, which became part of the consolidated fund under account control 99, was spent? Madam Speaker, I seek your serious guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Order. Honorable members, this matter was raised yesterday over this 65 million kwacha, and they had stated that the minister, both Minister of Finance and Minister of Education, had made statements, including the Anti-Corruption Commission. But from my assessment, the matter has not been settled. It's doing rounds in the newspapers, on radio, everybody's talking about it on social media. And I'm compelled, because the government needs to explain, to give their side of the story, so that the people of Zambia, through this August House, are also informed about this matter. I believe there is no, even if the matter does not qualify to be raised as a matter of urgent public importance, I'm compelled, so that we give the opportunity to the government to be able to explain what exactly happened. If there are any documents to be laid on the table, so let those documents be laid on the table so that we can put this matter to rest. So the Honorable Minister of Finance, kindly come back to the House on Tuesday next week with a ministerial statement to explain exactly what happened. Thank you very much. Order. Honorable Member for Petauke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving the good people of Petauke this opportunity to ask to raise the matter of urgent public importance under Standing Order 134.
You may proceed, honorable members. As we raise the matters of urgent public importance, we already know the standing orders, so there's no need for you to mention and then sit back, and we are just wasting time. So please go straight and raise the matter of urgent public importance. Remember not to debate, and please do not shout in the mic. Honorable member for Petauke, you may proceed. Petauke Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, last month, the youth in Maporoto, in Kawata constituency was killed, was set ablaze by suspected homosexuals. Madam Speaker, last month, the committee also who were in Uganda, and also in Uganda, we saw some flags at the American embassy being raised, the LGBTQ flags being raised. And last week, on the 1st June, Madam Speaker, the American embassy, again at the embassy, the flag was raised, the rainbow flag for LGBTQ. And yesterday, Madam Speaker, we saw a police officer being on the run in the newspaper. He's on the run because he's accused of raping a male suspect in the cells. Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, between January and March. Here in the House, Madam Speaker, Her Honor the Vice President was very firm and categorical that the new Dawn government will never allow LGBTQ in this country. But America and American embassy is busy, Madam Speaker, one promoting through the saloon operators. The saloon operators now they're changing themselves, calling themselves that they are men or they are women whilst they are men. Madam Speaker, they have also gone from the business sector, they have gone now into the civil servant, where we saw an officer raping a suspect in the cells, where even your members here, sometimes they go in cells.
Order. Order, honorable member. Order. Order, honorable member for Petauke Central. Please, as you raise your matters of urgent public importance, be factual. I don't believe you saw the officer raping another. Were you there? Be factual, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, according to the standing orders, I'll be very unprofessional to answer you. It's like I'm debating. You are a presiding officer, Madam Speaker. So on the
Order, honorable member for Petauke. If you are going to proceed in that manner, I will curtail you. I will curtail you, definitely. Just ask, what is your matter of urgent public importance? I advise that you should not debate. Please do not debate. What is your matter of urgent public importance?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, is the leader of government business in order to let America, where our culture, our values, Christianity values, and our constitution doesn't even allow to raise LGBTQ flags in Zambia, but we were allowing them, and also allowing these other people, whereby even my children now they're scared because the way they have entered, Madam Speaker, to the civil service, even the children at school, they will be the victim, Madam Speaker. So we seek your indulgence and your guidance, Madam Speaker. I thank you.
Order. Honorable member for Petauke Central. I know this issue is very, very important. People have been talking about it, but as you rightly pointed out, the leader of government business in the House came out with a statement here that the government does not support LGTB. So those flags which were being flown, you did not state that the flags were being flown in Zambia. And also, you said that you saw somebody being raped. I don't know whether you have any evidence to show that you were there when this person was being raped. Why didn't you report the matter to the police? Because that is a criminal act. In short, honorable member for Petauke, that matter that you have raised, even if you have raised it with a lot of emphasis and passion, it still does not qualify to be raised as a matter of urgent public importance. However, the door is not open. You can explore other ways and means to bring the matter so that it can be debated on the floor of the House. We make progress. Honorable member from Pika.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to raise the matter of urgent public importance in accordance with our standing orders number 134. Madam Speaker, our country is a unitary state with 10 provinces whose citizens are entitled to have a national registration card. Madam Speaker, since last year, government has been carrying out mobile national registration exercise in 3 provinces. only. And the Zambian people in other provinces are concerned that they have been left out, looking at the importance of this document in accordance with the National Registration Act. Madam Speaker, I therefore direct this matter of urgent public importance at the Minister of Home Affairs to seek guidance on why these other provinces are not having the mobile nationalization exercise, which is happening in southern, northwestern, and western provinces. Madam Speaker, I seek your indulgence.
There is a point of order. Honorable Member for Solwezi East, is it? Zambezi East.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for according me an opportunity to raise this point of order pursuant to Standing Order number 65, relevance of speech and how we conduct business in this House. Madam Speaker, I've observed a very dangerous trend where honorable members have found this avenue, provided for by our standing orders, of course, for airing out matters of urgent public importance. And it is well defined in the standing orders which ones qualify to be matters of urgent public importance. Here we are, a matter to do with NRCs, which could be, I'm simply driving my point because time has been lost. At the end of the day,
Order, honorable members, can we order?
at the end of the day, members are using this avenue to debate, to push their agendas so that they are heard that they are talking about something, even when they know that you are not going to allow it to qualify under that provision. Madam Speaker, is this House in order to let this kind of running riot coming up with anything and sundry and push it under the guise of matters of urgent public importance? Madam Speaker, I need your serious ruling so that we can tell this seemingly anarchy which is going on in this House. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Order, order. Honorable members, can we have some order? Indeed, this issue of matters of urgent public importance, I think this segment is being abused by the honorable members. The criteria is already stated in both Standing Order 150, 134 and 135. And there have been a number of rulings giving guidance to honorable members on what matters qualify to be raised as matters of urgent public importance. But unfortunately, I've seen a trend where members stand and talk about any issue without any regard to the criteria for a matter to be admitted. In the process, the honorable members are bringing in matters which the members of the public are listening to, but because the matter does not qualify to be admitted, that issue will remain hanging without the necessary response being provided. Honorable members, let's be serious. When we are raising a matter of urgent public importance, let's make sure that it conforms to the criteria. If it does not, and you as a member, you are aware that it does not qualify, please use other means. Ask a question under Standing Order 74, Standing Order 76, and the answer will be provided adequately. But when we, for example, Honorable Member from Pika, even the manner that you are asking, this is now you are promoting regionalism because you are talking about 3 provinces. Order. You are talking about 3 provinces, and while other provinces are not being attended to. So if you want, you can put in a question so that the Minister of Home Affairs order, you'll be sent out. You really want to start on a bad note. If you bring up a matter, I'm entitled to make a ruling and to give you guidance. If you don't want to listen to the guidance, then there's no need to bring up a matter. Yes? So you listen to the ruling. If you are not interested, then you can go and spend some good time outside. The manner in which honorable members you ask questions should not promote division in the House or in the country. Let's build a country for all of us as Zambians. If there are NRCs being issued, they should be issued to all Zambians. But when you bring a question here and say that no, one region is being favored than the other, that is promoting regionalism. We are trying to get away from that. Zambia is one country. If you don't agree, then you are the one who is promoting. Honorable member for Chitambo, are you the one promoting regionalism? Huh? Let's be serious. Honorable member from Pika, your matter does not qualify to be raised as a matter of urgent public importance. Let's make progress. Honorable member for Lumezi.
Thank you, very kind Madam Speaker, for permitting the good people of Lumezi to raise on a serious matter of public emergency importance. And Madam Speaker, taking advantage of your guidance on how you've cancelled the honorable member from Pika, Madam Speaker, you've given your members a diplomatic status in this House, so that when your members visit neighboring countries, they're given the much needed respect because they're honorable members. Madam Speaker, it is not by mistake, not by design. It is a matter of fact that I'm stating, and I'm ready to pay a heavy price for speaking and stating facts on the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, we have had a conversation starting from yesterday that 65 million kwacha went missing. Madam Speaker, we've not seen the Zambia police drive to arrest people cited in that report. Madam Speaker, as I was growing up...
Order, honorable member. I don't know if you are still raising the same issue of the 65 million. Then raise your matter of urgent public importance. Don't go all over. And just to comment on the issue of respect, respect is earned. We as honorable members of parliament, we should earn that respect so that the House and members can be respected. If we do not respect ourselves, so even the members of the public will not respect ourselves, will not respect us. So you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, I could be a slow speaker in my deliveries, but permit me to deliver a serious message, Madam Speaker. In everything I do, it's uberima fides, utmost good faith. Madam Speaker, when I was growing up, my father...
Order, member. Order. That's why I was saying, honorable member, just go to the point. Don't start debating what you are, what you do, how you were brought up. I think that is not the segment for that. Can you get to the point, honorable members? We are ready to listen to you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We always treasure your guidance. Madam Speaker, Zambia Police has deliberately developed a habit of parking vehicles outside parliamentary grounds to abduct members without sending call-outs, especially members on your left, Madam Speaker. If this habit is not attended to, Madam Speaker, the members on your right will happen to be on your left someday, and they'll be abducted. Is it that the Americans are giving the executive to silence the voices of the opposition members of parliament, or is it the British? Because the story we are getting, Madam Speaker, I was abducted, no call out. Honorable Shakafuswa was abducted, no call out. Honorable Kalimi was abducted, no call out. And we are told that the Americans are saying, to silence the voices on your left, Madam Speaker, they should be abducting us without call-outs, without involving your office. Madam Speaker, we have known people of permanent abode. We are not criminals. And taking advantage, Madam Speaker, if they come to your office, you'll engage us to say you are needed by the police, but they have not been doing that. And we are being abducted like common criminals. We need clarity on this particular matter so that our views are not suppressed in this House because of foreign interest. This has to come to an end, Madam Speaker. I seek your serious ruling. Thank you.
Order. Honorable Member for Lumez, you started very well. Then again, you meandered, but it's better to be precise and concise so that your point can be taken, so that even the person or the minister who is going to answer will be able to respond to your questions. So I'm not aware of these arrests and abductions. The Honorable Minister is here. Maybe he can shed some light.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to respond to the purported serious issues that have been raised by the Honorable Member for Lumezi. Madam Speaker, the privileges of members of Parliament are prescribed, and you only require the Speaker's knowledge and information when the arrest is being effected on parliamentary grounds. If you are a member of Parliament and you are outside parliamentary precincts, the Zambia Police Service or any security wing, relying on the information they have that a criminal offense has been committed, they have the right, Madam Speaker, to arrest anyone who has committed an offense in this country. And it is a matter of law that there's no one, I repeat, there's no one who's above the law in this country, unless you have immunity. Members of Parliament, Madam Speaker, do not have immunity pertaining to criminal proceedings. I also want to state that there's no member of Parliament who has been abducted in this country. Members of Parliament have been arrested based on allegations that have been made. And all those members of Parliament who have been arrested, their charges were read to them. I stand to be corrected, but I have no doubt in my mind that I'm on very firm ground that all those members of Parliament who have been arrested, their grounds were framed and were read to them, and a number of them are appearing in court. So we should not use this forum to mislead the public when there are criminal charges that have been laid against you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So thank you very much. The Leader of Opposition.
Yes, Madam Speaker. The fact that the Minister has made a comment, I thought on behalf of your members on the left, I could also add a comment. Madam Speaker, I think the question that the member raises is the manner in which the members of Parliament are arrested. Nobody is saying the members of Parliament are above the law. The member of Parliament referred to the fact that your MPs have got diplomatic passports. That is to give them the dignity that they deserve. Now, if at all they have committed an offense, Madam Speaker, what is wrong with just sending a call out to a member of Parliament? Madam Speaker, the abduction that happened to the honorable members, as referred to by the honorable member of Lumezi, indeed did happen. I was at the police to go and secure bonds for these members. Madam Speaker, we've been attending committees, going around doing parliamentary work. Why it is important to even notify the office of the chief whip or other whips. Members of Parliament are sometimes doing parliamentary work. So the point really to drive home, your Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, these members of parliament are not criminals. They need to be respected. If at all they should appear at the police, they should be given the dignity. Why should we only be respected when we're in Uganda, Kenya, Morocco, and everywhere else? And you want to treat your members of parliament as criminals, even before they are convicted? Madam Speaker, it's about the respect of members of parliament. And I think this point must be driven very clearly. It does not matter what defense you want to give. If members of parliament are required by the police, let them be given the respect and be given call-outs. We stand very strongly on this point, Madam Speaker. We will not sit idle, Honorable Minister, and watch our members being harassed. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. There's order. There's an indication for a point of order before the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs comes in. The Honorable Member for Honorable Mfaladi, you have a point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Order.
Madam Speaker.
Order. Honorable members, can we have some order?
Madam Speaker, we seek your guidance. The leader of opposition, as he was talking or standing to talk, he was addressing the House. In what capacity is the leader of opposition addressing the House instead of asking the question? Is he in order, therefore, Madam Speaker? Yes, is he in order, therefore, Madam Speaker, to start addressing this House when he's not a minister? The only people that address this House are ministers when they ask questions. In what capacity is he addressing the House? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Order. Honorable members, we are guided by standing orders. Let me just see. 138. 136. Debate on matter of urgent public importance. Where the one. Can we listen then, please? Honorable member for Nkana. Can we listen? I'm trying to deliver a ruling. Yes, but you were too loud. I could hear you from here. So in responding to the point of order that has been raised by the Honorable Mfalali, I refer to Standing Order 136, debate on matter of urgent public importance. I'll read one. Where the presiding officer directs that the debate on the matter of urgent public importance must take place on a specified date, that is not material. Let me just... Okay, what the standing orders, our standing orders say that where the minister is asked to provide an answer, then the honorable members have a right to ask follow-up questions. So this in that capacity that the leader of opposition was standing to respond. So maybe it's the manner in which he was debating. He was supposed, order. He was supposed to have asked a question. So maybe we are learning from that when a question is, when a matter has been raised and the Honorable Minister is asked to respond, the Honorable members can ask follow-up questions. So that is where we are right now. So the Honorable Minister is now at liberty to respond to what the Honorable Leader of Opposition was saying.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, for ease of knowledge, I would like to advise and acquaint my colleague, the Honorable Leader of Opposition, that a diplomatic passport does not grant immunity to members of parliament, as you have said. It doesn't. The diplomatic passport enables you to enjoy privileges when you are traveling outside the country and not here. You don't carry a diplomatic passport in Zambia. It has no use to you. doesn't confer any status on you whatsoever. Madam Speaker, I want to state once again that under Section 26 of the Criminal Procedure Code, which I tend to think my colleague, who's also a learned lawyer, is well versed, it gives the police the power to arrest anybody where there is suspicion that a criminal offense has been committed by that individual. That is what the law says. Further, Madam Speaker, most of my colleagues were issued with warrants, not warrants, call-outs, and they were ignoring. And when you ignore a police call-out, they will arrest you.
Order, honorable members, can we have some order? Honorable member for Mandevu, can you move? Can you leave the house? Please leave the house. Order, honorable member for Mandevu. Honorable member for Mandevu, please leave the house. Honorable member for Fair, are you joining me? Honorable member for, or you are going for something else? Please, can you return to your seat? Honorable members, can we have some order in the house? If we continue at this rate, I'll be forced to move to the next item on the order paper, because we want to have order. Remember what I said earlier on, that the respect that we demand, we have to earn it. And the way we carry on here, if we are going to reduce on the decorum and dignity of the house, we should not expect other people to crown us with that dignity and decorum. Please, let's behave ourselves and give due respect to the house and conduct our business as serious people who deserve to be called honorable members. Can we have some order? May the minister continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I noted that before I could even complete my statement, there was an uproar on the other side. I said some of the members were issued with call-outs. Yes. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. We are all aware, Madam Speaker, that the previous government arrested a number of MPs here. The Honorable Muvika was arrested with a warrant. Honorable Muchima, Honorable Kangombe was arrested. And Honorable Nkombo, we never raised the issues that the police have no power, because we are knowledgeable. We have gone to school. We know what is obtaining in the laws of this country. We know what the police are supposed to be doing. Madam Speaker, unlike what used to happen in the past, where policemen were being given instructions to arrest certain individuals, we are not doing that. If the police think that someone has committed an offense, the police move in and arrest that individual. That is what we are doing. We respect the professionalism of the Zambia Police Service. And that's what we are doing. If somebody wants to say we are the ones who are doing, because they were doing it, we are not doing it ourselves. That is the problem why some people are losing it. In Chienge, she has lost the confidence of the people.
Order. Honorable members, I think I need to give guidance on this matter. On this matter of arrest and how members of parliament can be arrested, I'll reserve a ruling so that I give guidance on what can be done and what cannot be done, in accordance with what the law provides, so that we can go over this issue and members will be guided accordingly. So let's leave this item. Let's go to the next one. Matter of urgent public importance. I see there is a point of order. There have been several points of order. Honorable Member for Chipili, what's the point of order? Is it on the same matter or something else?
No, actually it is on the same. I wanted to correct the minister. So it doesn't refer to, because the Boaz is in his hands.
It's okay, Honorable Member. If that's what you wanted to say, that matter, there will be a ruling. Can we make progress? The Honorable Minister for Southern Province.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I had actually raised this point of order contemporaneous to the occurrence of the statements that were rendered on the floor of this House by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Lumezi, Honorable Monie Zulu, who I felt made startling and hair-raising claims that he did not have occasion, in accordance with the traditions of this House, to substantiate so that they can stand on the Hansard of this House as the transactions of the day to day. He has told this House that members of the opposition MPs are being arrested at the behest or instruction of the Americans, something which is bordering on diplomatic etiquette, which this House stays away from. Is he in order, therefore, to mislead the House, mislead himself and the nation, that the executive, the government Republic of Zambia, has been told that the only way to silence the opposition is to arrest the opposition MPs without providing any proof that such an instruction has been given by the American government to the government Republic of Zambia? I need your serious ruling, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Actually, I had guided the Honorable Member for Lumezi that whatever statement he makes should be substantiated. Since he has not substantiated his allegation that the government is working with the American government and the British government to silence the opposition, I request or require or direct the Honorable Member for Lumezi to withdraw that statement since he has no supporting evidence to support what he was saying. Honorable Member for Lumezi.
With your guidance, Madam Speaker, I withdraw.
Thank you very much for that. So now we can make some progress. We are making progress now. We are going to the next matter of urgent public importance. Is it Honorable Member for Chilubi?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving the people of Chilubi the opportunity to raise a matter of public importance in accordance with Standing Order number 35, read together with the 134. Madam Speaker, in 1991, Zambia chose to revert to multi-party through the amendment of Article 4 of the Constitution then.
Order, Honorable Member, just raise your matter of urgent public importance. Do not debate. Do not debate.
Madam Speaker, the factors that I wanted to qualify are attached to what I'm saying. Okay, since that is a non-factor, Madam Speaker, can you allow me to quote the Constitution in Article 3? Because the matter I'm raising is linked to Article 3. 3, sorry.
The procedure is that you do not debate. Just raise your matter of urgent public importance precisely and to the point.
Okay. I'll quote
Do
the law,
not
Madam.
debate.
I'll quote the law, Madam Speaker, as I talk. Madam Speaker, of late we have seen alarming issues bordering on religious conflict. And the religious conflict, Madam Speaker, has caused problems in other countries to some level, going to civil strife.
Honorable member, you are debating. What's your matter of urgent public importance?
Madam Speaker, my matter of public urgent importance is linked to Article 19 of the Constitution, specifically the Bill of Rights, which talks about, except with his own consent, no person shall be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of conscience for the purposes of this article. The said freedom include the freedom of thought, religion, freedom of to change his religion or belief. Madam Speaker, this also includes to propagate the belief and the religion.
Honorable member, you are debating. I've guided. Please raise your matter of urgent public importance. What's the matter of urgent public importance?
Madam Speaker, the urgent importance is that a Catholic bishop was called a Lucifer by the UPND party, which is a ruling party, and that word, Lucifer, has got serious negative connotation. Zambia has 95% Christians, and the constitution...
You are debating. Honorable member, you are debating.
Speaker, I find it a problem that I cannot talk about this without putting flesh to it, because a matter of public importance has to qualify under 135. And for me, for it to qualify administratively, or whether it can cause conflict and other things into the nation, I need to put the material to it.
Honorable member, you have been guided. You have been guided. Please raise your matter of urgent public importance. Can you take your seat? Honorable member for Chilubi, please go straight and raise your matter of urgent public importance. Do not debate. Because when you are debating, you are opening issues. And if I do not admit your matter, we will leave out issues which will not be responded to. That's why I'm guiding you. Just raise your matter of urgent public importance. And if it's an order, please, I can't. If you go into the gist of the matter, you raise issues which will not be responded to. If I do not admit your matter, then you will leave issues hanging. That's why you are not supposed to debate, because nobody is going to respond to those issues that you are raising to debate. Just raise your matter of urgent public importance, and if they will be debated and responded to. That's why guidance has been given. Please follow the advice. Can you proceed and be precise to the point in raising your matter of urgent public importance?
My matter of public urgent importance is directed at the leader of government business, who, by change of different things, also takes care of national values in Article 8 of the Constitution. A Catholic bishop was called a Lucifer by the SG of the ruling party, which is UPND. And the reference to a Catholic bishop as Lucifer, who was following. When we look at
There's a point of order. Honorable member from Bavala, what's the point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Point of order in line with Article 65 in our standing orders. The honorable member debating, accusing the UPNDSG, has not laid any factual document on the table. There is no factual document laid on the table, Madam Speaker. Therefore, he cannot talk about something from hearsay. He is speculating and he is misleading himself. Thank you.
Order. Honorable members, as you raise your matters of urgent public importance, please be precise. Bring matters that are ascertainable, which are supported by evidence. If you have to lay a document on the table, so let it be laid on the table. Do not just raise allegations which cannot be supported. Honorable member for Chiruvi, please be guided accordingly.
Madam Speaker, I find it a very big problem, a very, very big problem, that matters of this magnitude, which borders on national conflict, if possible, can be taken this lightly by this House. Because what I'm talking about, not a single person here has not heard.
Honorable member for Chiruvi.
It's in public domain.
Honorable member for Chiruvi, please
Yes.
take your seat. I have guided. This is not the time to debate. You are debating, you are responding, you are doing also. Your opportunity now is to raise a matter of urgent public importance. If you can't raise it, then maybe we give an opportunity to another person to raise another matter. Yeah? You raise your matter. Can we have order?
Madam Speaker,
Can
maybe
we
you,
have
you
order?
take on a different person.
Can we have order? Honorable member from Babala, please, can you restrain yourself? Otherwise, you'll be sent out. You'll be escorted by Honorable member for Chiruvi because she has been uttering from Chiengi rather. Chiengi, she has been speaking while seated. Can we make progress? We have already spent almost 1 hour on this item, and we are not even making progress. I will request honorable members to be prepared when they are coming to raise their matters of urgent public importance. We have not made any progress on this matter today, so under the circumstances, I'm curtailing this debate. Those who have matters of urgent public importance can rethink through them and come and raise substantive matters tomorrow. Can we make progress? I have permitted the Honorable Minister of Agriculture to make a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture. Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we had sent a note to withdraw, and therefore I did not come prepared for it today. Thank you, Madam.
We have not received that notice. The Honorable Member for Shuangandu wants to raise a point of order. What's the point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's a very serious procedural point of order. The communication between the executive and your office is very clear and it's well established. It's the Honorable Minister of Agriculture who has scheduled, and the business committee to which I belong, Madam Speaker, which is your committee, has scheduled the business of the House. Is it in order, Madam Speaker, to come with impunity like that? Only to come and say he's not ready to render ministerial
Maybe
statement.
the use of the word impunity.
I withdraw that one, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
With disrespect to your office and the whole institution, to just come and say he's not ready to render a ministerial statement. Is without giving a prior notice, because notice cannot be given on the floor. That note should have been given before the commencement of business of the House. We need your serious ruling on this matter, Madam Speaker. And if our colleagues are not ready to continue managing the affairs of the state, they must state so. Because we are taking this House for granted.
Order. Now we are overstretching the issue. Let's stick to this ministerial statement that is supposed to be rendered. Order. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture, according to item number 5 in our order paper, you are supposed to deliver a ministerial statement. This notice was given to us. I read the statement myself and approved, and that's why it's on the order paper. The notice withdrawing has not been received. So please, Honorable Minister, can we have the Ministerial statement.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to update this August House and the nation at large on the 2022-2023 crop focus results and the crop marketing arrangements for the 2023-2024 marketing season. The announcements of the crop focus survey results gives us a clear picture of the national food security situation as we commence the 2023-2024 crop marketing season. Madam Speaker, allow me to pay tribute to Zambian farmers who have risen above the challenges and have ensured that the nation's food basket is secure. Let me also pay tribute to the other value chain actors, seed companies, suppliers of inputs and agricultural equipment, grain traders, millers, and financial institutions for their continued role in facilitating the production of food in this country. Madam Speaker, from the onset, I wish to state that the statistics that I'm about to give are produced through a universally accepted scientific methodology that has been used by the Ministry of Agriculture and the Zambia Statistics Agency, ZAMSTAT, over a long period of time. The nation is hereby informed that the statistics generated through this survey are of a high quality, are objectively collected, and are comparable to the statistics of other nations that have adopted the same survey methodology being used by Zambia. Madam Speaker, I am delighted that the 2022-2023 crop forecasting survey results have revealed that the expected production for most crops is expected to increase, with only a few recording a decrease in production when compared to the 2021-2022 figures generated through the post-harvest survey. I'm also happy that the area planted for the crops such as maize, soybeans, and mixed beans has recorded an increase in the 2022-2023 agricultural season. It is worth noting that the number of small and medium-scale farming households that planted various crops increased when compared to the previous season. The number of small and medium-scale farming households has increased to 2,534,311 from 1,756,340 recorded in the 2021-2022 agricultural season. Further, we have noted that some crops, including maize, have registered an increase in yields when compared to the statistics in the 2021-2022 season. The increase in yields is encouraging, but it also indicates that more must be done to increase the efficiency of our farmers and increase the return on their investment. Madam Speaker, regrettably, we know that the climate change and its negative impacts is among the significant challenges affecting food production and the livelihoods of the majority of Zambians. Similar to the events in previous seasons, the country experienced a late onset of rainfall, floods, dry spells, and crop diseases, which mostly affected the major crop-producing provinces of Southern, Eastern, and Central. Madam Speaker, the results of the crop forecasting survey have revealed that a total of 91,981 hectares of land under crop production was destroyed by heavy rains and flash floods. In addition, it has been established by the survey results that a total of 219,610 hectares of land under crop production was damaged by the dry spell. The 2022-2023 season was also characterized by outbreak of 4 armyworms and stalk borers, which were reported to have damaged about 8,021 hectares of cropped land. In some parts of Zambia, the cassava brown streak disease was reported to have affected many fields. In total, The damage caused by flash floods, dry spells, and pests stand at 319,611 hectares. Madam Speaker, notwithstanding the challenges of climate change and other negative impacts affecting production and productivity in the sector, the National Food Balance Sheet for cereals and tubers in the 2023-2024 marketing season indicates that the country will produce sufficient maize for both human consumption and industrial use. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to report that as at 1st May 2023, the total carryover stocks held by farmers, millers, grain traders, and Food Reserve Agency was 450,891 metric tons, with the expected production of 3,261,686 metric tons of maize and the carryover stocks, that the total stocks of maize available in this marketing season is 3,712,576 metric tons. Madam Speaker, the country has recorded a maize surplus of 470,379 metric tons. The food balance sheet further indicates that the total maize required for a projected population of 20.4 million for both human and industrial consumption and other commitments is about 3,242,197 metric tons. Overall, the country has a surplus of 209,722 metric tons of maize equivalent. The nation is, therefore, assured that the country will remain food secure in the foreseeable future for as long as vices such as smuggling are managed. Madam Speaker, on the other hand, the National Food Balance Sheet has revealed that the country has recorded a net deficit of 46,855 metric tons of paddy rice, net deficit of 108,561 metric tons of wheat for the 2022-2023 agricultural marketing season. Madam Speaker, let me now update the nation on the measures government is taking to enhance crop productivity and the production in the country. As government, we are implementing policy reforms to promote sustainable production amidst the threat of climate change. It is our commitment and duty to transform the agricultural sector and promote private sector participation in the production and marketing of agricultural commodities. Our government further commits to supporting irrigation development, crop diversification, and the adoption of climate-resilient agricultural practices. Madam Speaker, we have partnered with various cooperating partners in effectively implementing our reform agenda to meet key developmental targets. As some of you may be aware, government launched the Zambia Growth Opportunities for Results (ZAMGROW) program earlier this year. The program aims to enhance agricultural production and productivity, access to markets, and food and nutrition security at household and national level. The ZAMGROW targets the development of farming blocks and will help in boosting industrialization, agricultural diversification, and exports in the agricultural sector, in line with the objective of the 8th National Development Plan. Madam Speaker, we are implementing policy reforms to promote sustainable production amidst the threat of climate change. It is our commitment and duty to transform the agricultural sector and promote private sector participation in the production and marketing of agricultural commodities. Our government further commits to supporting irrigation development, crop diversification, and the adoption of climate-resilient agricultural practices. The government has also undertaken the Comprehensive Agricultural Transformation Support Program, CASIP. The program will be anchored on policy instruments and legislative reforms which will stimulate production, increase value addition, the uptake of climate-smart technologies, enhance job creation, and food for nutrition security. Madam Speaker, at this juncture, allow me to update the nation on the crop marketing arrangements for the 2023-2024 marketing season. The government, through the Food Reserve Agency, will be buying the following commodities: paddy rice and white maize. The FRA expects to purchase 500,000 metric tons of white maize and 1,000 metric tons of paddy rice. The quantities and prices of the designated commodities that the agency will be buying during the crop marketing season include white maize at 5 kwacha 60, which is equivalent to 280 kwacha per 50 kg bag, or indeed 5,600 per metric ton. And paddy rice at 5 kwacha per 50 kg, which is 200 kwacha per 40 kg bag, or 5,000 kwacha per metric ton. Madam Speaker, these prices should not be taken as floor prices. These prices are the prices at which the agency expects to purchase maize to meet the minimum statutory strategic reserve threshold of 1 million metric tons and 1,000 metric tons of paddy rice, respectively. Other players in the sector are urged to buy these crops at their own prices, as the prices announced are not floor prices, but rather FRA prices under the principle of willing seller and willing buyer. Madam Speaker, let me state that in arriving at a determined price for 2023, the agency acknowledges the urgent need to replenish the strategic grain reserves from a dynamic grain market obtaining locally and in the region. Madam Speaker, it is anticipated that the agency shall not disadvantage the private sector, who are expected to purchase larger share of the agricultural produce. As you may know, the FRA purchase share has averaged about 20% of the production over the years. The agency, in determining crop prices, undertook a process of crop price scenario analysis that included the following: 1, survey of the prevailing farm gate and open market prices; 2, indicative crop gross margin budgets taking into account input costs in relation to cost reflective pricing; and 3, consultations with key market stakeholders and players in the crop marketing chain. Madam Speaker, these prices will have accrued benefits to farmers in that: 1, farmers will be provided with a readily available market access closer to their localities through the 1,200 satellite depots to be established countrywide; 2, farmers will get a reward for their labor, which will entail more money in their pockets; and 3, there will be stimulation and growth of rural economies for farmers, as well as local service providers such as transporters; and 4, the stimulus will enable farmers to adequately prepare for the upcoming agricultural season and further be motivated to increase crop production for the country's food security, taking into consideration the increased national population. In relation to the economic stimulus, the growth of the rural economies, you may wish to note, Madam Speaker, that in 2022, the agency bought designated crops worth 2.2 billion, of which 72% was paid to farmers in outlying areas. Madam Speaker, in ensuring that the grain to be purchased meets the standard requirements, the agency is monitoring the moisture content. As you may be aware, some crops are still in the field and yet to be harvested. However, in some parts of the country where rains stopped early, we expect that the grain has now reached desirable moisture content, and some sector players are already on the market buying grain from farmers. Madam Speaker, during this year's crop marketing season, the agency will operate a total of 1,200 satellite depots to provide market access to small-scale farmers. This will result in the engagement of 4,800 seasonal buyers and security guards drawn from the local communities, who are mainly youths and women, and over 10,000 jobs for various activities associated with crop purchases. This opportunity will lead to the stimulation of rural economies and help in spurring development in rural areas. I therefore wish to urge the individuals that have been recruited to work in the depots countrywide to be professional and diligent in their execution of duties at the exercise of national importance. Madam Speaker, the Ministry wishes to urge sectors in the maize value chain, especially millers, to ensure that they prepare adequately to buy their own maize, as the agency will not be used as a warehouse for millers' maize requirements going forward. Millers are therefore encouraged to buy sufficient stock of their own from farmers to sustain their milling businesses, as the agency will not offload maize from the strategic grain reserves, which ideally are meant for national emergencies as prescribed in the FRA Act. Consequently, Madam Speaker, future sales programs for FRA will only work with millers that make verifiable efforts to buy their own stocks. Further, the Ministry wishes to remind and urge farmers to adhere to the general practice, ensuring they clean the maize at their farmsteads to avoid congestion at FRA depots. I also wish to employ all FRA personnel and their stakeholders to uphold rationality, prudence, transparency, and accountability for public resources that have been entrusted in their charge. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we proceed, there is an indication for a point of order to be raised by the Honorable Member, Honorable Mufalari. What's the point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my point of order is pursuant to Article 55 of our standing orders. And I quote 2 and 3. This follows, Madam Speaker, the point of order that was raised by Honorable Kampyongo to the House, where he is claiming that he is a member of a committee that prepares the business of the House. And Article 55, 2, Madam Speaker, despite paragraph 1, a member may, by leave of the House, withdraw or defer an item on business on the order paper. 2, a member who wishes to withdraw or defer an item of business on the order paper shall seek leave of the House to defer or withdraw the item immediately the Speaker calls upon the member to debate on the item. Madam Speaker, I raise this point of order based on what Honorable Kampyongo is telling us as a member of a committee that sits, that there can be no changes on the floor of the House as long as the minister does not give notice. Maybe we will seek your interpretation of Article 55, 2, and 3. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mfalari, for that point of order. The issue is true. If there's business on the order paper, it can be withdrawn with the leave of the Speaker. But in the specific case we are dealing with, there was no application for leave to withdraw the item. There was just an indication that there was a notice to withdraw, which was not seen, and there was no application for leave, and that is why the minister was asked to deliver the ministerial statement, and he has delivered it. So now we go to the, it's just a matter of procedure. There was no application for leave, and that leave was not granted. And that's why the minister was required to deliver the ministerial statement. Since he has delivered it, now we can proceed to the next item and ask points of clarification on the ministerial statement that has been rendered. Honorable Member Fonkana, there can be no point of order on another point of order. Is it another issue that you want to raise?
Madam Speaker, your guidance that there cannot be a point of order on a point of order. The honorable member who raised a point of order raised a point of order on a point of order and raised it against your ruling, Madam Speaker. So, he's abrogated the rules of this House by raising a point of order on a point of order and against your ruling, Madam Speaker. Is it in order to raise a point of order on a point of order?
Order, honorable members. I think if we proceed in that manner, we will not make progress. I don't know how people are feeling today. It looks like the idea is to disrupt business. Can we get back to serious business and discharge our functions as laid out in our order paper? So can we have honorable members to ask points of clarification on the ministerial statement given by the Honorable Minister of Agriculture? The Honorable Member for Dunduwenzi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank the Honorable Minister for a well-articulated statement. Honorable Minister, you have indicated that we have a surplus. And I think it's not by accident, it's by the good policies that the new Dawn government has put in agriculture. Now, this surplus, Minister, requires that you increase the satellite depots. In your statement, you also indicated that some areas could not produce enough grain because of the floods. Will you therefore, Honorable Minister, consider increasing satellite depots in places like Dundumwezi where
farmers are still asking for satellite depots. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Madam Speaker, that position is most welcome, and it goes across the board that if there is honorable members who feel that certain satellite depots are not useful, let us know. Those who feel that we need a little bit, we will see how we can move around and accommodate your requests. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Nalolo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, for your statement. Honorable Minister, in your statement, you have not mentioned about the yield for soya, and I understand and I'm aware that FRA has over 90,000 metric tons of soya still in storage. Now that, as government, you are not procuring soybeans in this crop marketing season, what is your plan in ensuring that the farmers do not have unprecedented losses for what they have farmed, considering that last year the situation was that there was restriction on exports of soya, and I raised this issue on the floor of this House. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I really appreciate that question. Madam Speaker, the crop focused figures have indicated that the production of soybeans has been very, very favorable. We actually have more than 700,000 metric tons of soybean in the country. Madam Speaker, we at the ministry are going to be giving export quotas for soybeans. Therefore, I'm asking the members, and through you, Madam Speaker, the citizens of Zambia who can export, that they should be free to come and get an export permit at the ministry, which we will give. We will be dealing in quotas. So if we say this month we give out 50,000, it will be on first come, first serve basis on a reducing balance until that 50,000 is all taken up. So it is imperative. Our usage of soybeans is about half what we have produced. Therefore, the other half should go away. In fact, Madam Speaker, with due respect to the order that I give the statement, the reason why I wanted to delay the issue of the statement was to add matter on soybeans, which we are trying to revisit after a lot of desire by people that the government should revisit the issue. So we were redoing our document so that that issue of soybeans, I could have given a more comprehensive position than I did. But notwithstanding that, once we are ready, Madam Speaker, I am coming to talk about soybeans on the floor of the House. I thank you.
Thank you very much. And I was going to say there's nothing to preclude the Honorable Minister coming back with another ministerial statement to talk about the soybeans issue. So that is going to be addressed when the Honorable Minister is ready. The Honorable Member for Lumezi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I listened to your submission. You talked of smuggling. I would love to appreciate what smuggling is, Madam Speaker, because from Luangwa all the way into Lumezi and Lundazi, the trucks of transporters for Kavlamungu, Alibu, transporting milling, Madam Speaker, from Lusaka all the way to Lumezi were being impounded by ZNS. There is no border between Luangwa, Kacholola, Kacholola, Nyimba, Nyimba, Petauke, Petauke, Katete, Katete, Chipata, Chipata, Chipangali, Chipangali, Lumezi, and eventually Lundazi and then Chasefu. You talk of smuggling in one hand, and you do the opposite outside the chamber. Honorable Minister, what measures are you putting in place that you will not cause food shortages on the eastern corridor by virtue of you impounding vehicles that are transporting meal to the good people of Lumezi, Lundazi, Chasefu, Because I know those trucks don't reach Cham. So it's worrying, Madam Speaker, that here we talk of smuggling, and deliberately your own government decides to impound trucks for transporters without paying particular detail to how much they pay on demurrage fees. Honorable Minister, what solutions then are we providing for the people of this country? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will take advantage of that question to explain why that status, as you have defined, is existing. Madam Speaker, a few months ago, Zambia was treated to a very serious shock period of mealie meal shortages and price hikes on mealie meal. And the narrative that time, Madam Speaker, was that we had exported all the maize and therefore we had run out of maize. Madam Speaker, that was totally true. In my statement, I just gave that opening stock for this year's position is 450,000 metric tons, of which 250,000 is stock that is sitting with FRA, meaning that there was never a time when we had run out of maize because we had exported everything. So what is it that was causing the shortage of mealie meal, especially on the Copper Belt and other bordering towns? It was movement of mealie meal across borders without permits. And that is what is being defined as smuggling. We had a lot of movement of mealie meal from the Copper Belt into neighboring states, from Chipata into neighboring states, from Nakonde into neighboring states. So that was an artificial shortage being created because around Zambia there is no maize that is sufficient. And the only stock which was available in the region really was with Zambia. So we had a lot of force market coming onto the Zambian position. Now let me answer your question directly. Why were we stopping and why are we stopping interprovincial movement of maize and mealie meal? There was a time, Madam Speaker, where there were 85 trucks in 2 weeks carrying mealie meal, 30-ton trucks into the Eastern Province. It has never been like that. Where was the mealie meal going? 85 trucks. It was meant to go out of the country. At that point, we realized that our mealie meal was being found in neighboring states, seriously so, more than we had here. A truck would offload at ShopRite Chipata, and within 5 minutes, the mealie meal is gone. A truck would offload at Choppies on the Copper Belt. Within 3 minutes, the mealie meal was gone. We had problems everywhere, artificial shortage because mealie meal was going out and maize was going out. So working together with the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, and Ministry of Commerce and other relevant ministries, we curbed the movement of mealie meal and we returned to normalcy, and Zambia started enjoying their mealie meal as we know it. That was the reason. Up to now, we are still controlling because the crop focus figures, Madam Speaker, for the region, which we are privy to have, indicate that still more there will be a shortage of maize in the region. So if we are not careful, all our maize is going to go out. Let me illustrate that. Right now, we have hiked the price, producer price, to 280 kwacha, a 50 kg bag. Just across, in one of our neighboring countries, the same bag at 280, which is equivalent to $280, is going per ton, is going at $600 per ton. In another country, at $350 a ton. And that just shows, Madam Speaker, that if we allow free movement, careless movement, all our maize will go away. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Honorable Member for Lumez, the Minister was answering your question. Now you want to raise a point of order. What's the point of order?
Madam Speaker, I take you to Standing Orders 65, that the information we give on the floor of this House should be factual and verifiable. Madam Speaker, I'm not speaking on behalf of the people of the Copper Belt. Neither am I speaking on behalf of the people of the entire Eastern Province. I witnessed 6 trucks parked.
Order. What's the point of order? This
The-
is not
the
an
ministers-
order. It's not an opportunity for you to rebut what the Honorable Minister has said through a point of order. So if that is what you intend to do, you are out of order. What's your point of order?
Madam Speaker, is the Honorable Minister in order to deliberately mislead this House and the country and himself that there were 85 trucks impounded, Madam Speaker, when it's a matter of fact that vehicles were impounded in Kacholora, not Chipata ShopRite, like he's mentioning. I'm a traveler on this road. Madam Speaker, we need verifiable information. I think, seek your ruling.
Honorable Member, I don't know whether it's the 85 numbers of trucks that you are challenging or where the trucks were impounded. I don't know whether that is going to add value to the debate that is going on right now. Let's stick to the facts. Let's be guided accordingly, and also to the gist of what the minister was saying. He was saying that it was the smuggling that was taking away the mealie meal from the market rather than the importing. I don't know if that is correct, but that's what I heard the minister say. So let's stick to substantive issues. Let's not deal with semantics. The Honorable Member from Mbawala.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And I wish to congratulate the Honorable Minister of Agriculture for the wonderful statement, as well as the bumper harvest. I'm glad that he's putting measures to safeguard our country. Honorable Minister, you have talked about irrigation as being a good measure to supplement our rains, especially that we have had challenges in my constituency in Babara with flash floods and other challenges to do with the rain. Now, we've got a number of dams, such as Kabanga Dam, Mbole, Kavanzi, and the like, that require rehabilitation for us to do irrigation. Our people are very much interested to do winter crops or irrigation crops. However, our dams are badly damaged and not functioning, including weir dams. What practical measures are you putting to ensure that these dams are repaired so that we can participate in irrigation activities and increase the bumper harvest next year to even more? Thank you so much.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to assure the Honorable Member from Mbawala that the Minister of Agriculture, working very closely with the Ministry of Water and Green Economy, we have been tasked to ensure that we rehabilitate the dams that have been damaged over a period of time, and the weirs are talking about, so that we provide the much needed irrigation to the Zambian population. So I will check how many of the dams in Mbawala are included on the list for rehabilitation this season, and I can communicate that to the Honorable Member. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Let's give an opportunity to the female members of Parliament. Honorable Member for Chiengi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for being gender sensitive. Madam Speaker, through you, the Minister spoke about producer price now is 280. I just want to find out on behalf of the nation and the people of Chiengi, because as we speak, at 25 kg, we're buying 280 kwacha. Now, I just want to find out how much the miller will be charging the people of Chiengi for a 25 kg of breakfast, since now the producer price is 280 kwacha. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm extremely delighted that the Honorable Member for Chiengi has picked it, that the current government is going to pay farmers at 280 kwacha per 50 kg. This we are doing so that the farmers can be encouraged and produce more next year. 280 kwacha in Chiengi. The price of mealie meal could be determined by the millers there, but it will not be very, very different to the current prices, which are around 180, 190, 200, and a little bit more. So that will be about the price. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kasama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, the forecast for the crop marketing season looked very good. I will also continue to ride on the question of my colleague from Chiengi. You have stated that when we look at last year, we had a floor price ranging from 180 to 200, round about there. This particular year, we've jumped. We are now at 5.6 kwacha per kg, 280 kwacha per 50 kg. So how possible is it that we can still continue to keep the same price? Because the cost of raw material has gone up. And it's with heavy concern because the millers would definitely also buy at the indicative floor price of 280. So how will you manage to keep the price of maize down, since the price of raw material has gone up? Thank you.
Thank you. Before the Honorable Minister comes on, I've decided to add another 10 minutes because the Minister took almost half the time. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yet again, I wish to indicate that last year, the price of maize to the miller was at 200 kwacha a 50 kg. What we bought at was at 180. We are this year buying at 280. If you simulate the figures, we will not be selling this maize to the miller at a price more than, say, 320. For as long as the price is about 300 kwacha to a miller, the price differential on mealie meal will be very, very minimal. It will definitely not be the same as it is now, but the increase will not be that which Zambians cannot afford. We will have mealie meal at affordable prices. But let me say this, Madam Speaker, it is better we have mealie meal in the shops at a slightly higher price than not have it at all. If we are going to buy at prices less than this, I've indicated here that there's a country just next door buying this same maize at 600 kwacha. Another country buying this same maize at 350 kwacha per 50 kg. Another country a little bit further away buying at almost 750 kwacha, a 50 kg bag. If we are going to maintain low prices because we feel that we need to support the consumption figures, we are not going to buy sufficient maize for our local consumption. All the maize will be bought and will be taken out illegally. We need to be sensitive to that as Zambians, and this House should be able to be educating the constituents in our respective areas. This is important, Madam Speaker. I'm grateful that the Honorable Member, who is from the milling industry, is able to raise this question. I thank you.
The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving a chance.
There is an indication for a point of order by the Honorable Minister of Green Economy. What's the point of order?
44, duties of the leader of the opposition, and 49, duties of the party whip. Madam Speaker, I notice with concern that both these senior officers, whose duties are to liaise with the Speaker, Leader of Government House, and Government Chief Whip on the business of the House, as well as state government policy and propose possible alternatives in their debate, are both missing in the House. And when you see the names of the officers missing, these are people who aspire to lead the country. They've also decided to send away people who are normally in the front bench, who sit for them whenever they're absent in the House. Madam Speaker, are they in order to absent themselves in this manner? I seek your very serious ruling, because this is a serious House. This is a serious debate on the floor of the House pertaining to the agriculture development in the country. Madam Speaker, I seek your serious ruling. I thank you.
Thank you very much for that point of order. I'll reserve my ruling so that I can look precisely at the duties of the leader of opposition and the government, then the whip, the PF whip, because these are offices even established by the Constitution. So I need to look at them precisely so that I can render a measured ruling. Thank you very much. We proceed. Londas, Honorable Member for Londas.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, once more for this opportunity to ask a follow-up question to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. Honorable Minister, in your statement, if I got you correctly, you said that you are going to allow millers to buy their own maize. They have to source it by themselves. Honorable Minister, if it was so difficult to control the millers when you are giving them the maize out of the stock that you have as government, how are you going to manage them? And how are you going to control them from exporting the maize which they are going to freely buy from wherever they will buy it from? What measures is government going to put in place so that these people do not hold the government to a ransom and exploit us, the poor people of Zambia, especially those who are in Londazi? I submit.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will answer the Honorable Member in 3 parts. Number 1, Madam Speaker, we realize that not all areas have got milling industries, and therefore, as much as we are restricting movements of midi meal and maize, for certain areas, we still allow regulated movement. And Lundazi is one such area. You have a trader, Alibu, who is one of the 6 traders allowed to move maize into Lundazi. I'm sorry, to move midi meal into Lundazi. That's point number 1. Point number 2, Madam Speaker, what has been happening where millers queue at FRA to get maize from FRA and go and mill is wrong. And we have said to the millers that we will not encourage that to happen again. Millers should buy their own maize, keep their own maize, and mill their maize across the period. The Food Reserve Agency cannot be suffering the cost of storing the maize, the cost of fumigating the maize, the cost of maintaining the maize on behalf of the miller. That is not correct. So we are not going to encourage that. It never used to be like that. It is something which has just started happening, and we want to terminate it, we want to exclude it, we want to keep it away. Millers should buy their own maize and mill their own maize. The Food Reserve Agency is only supposed to come in times of need and in times of emergencies, not us keeping maize for the millers and the queue on the line to buy. That is wrong, and we are going to discourage that. The last part, when we say millers should buy their own maize and mill it. We are not saying that they are free to export it without permits. If they do, they will lose the maize, their meal meal. They will lose the vessel which they are using to smuggle, and they will lose their freedom because they will be inconvenienced. Just like a lot have lost their freedom, vessels, and commodity. Right now we have a lot at ZRA, and it will be given free to other institutions that need it. So this is a serious warning to those who intend to do things illegally. Madam Speaker, I'm very grateful to the Honorable Member for raising that point. I thank you.
The Honorable Member for Solwezi East.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Minister, I like the way you respond to questions, giving hope to the hopeless. Coming to the issue of satellite depots that you talked about to be established countrywide. The people of Solwezi East have been victims of the issues of mealie meal and maize, especially that they have only one gazetted market at the Kipushi border there, where they do their trade in terms of maize and mealie meal. And you have talked about setting up these depots. Minister, through the provincial agriculture officers in Northwestern, a request was made. That time we had these serious issues at the border to resolve the harassment that was going on between our residents in Mushindamo and the ZNS, which up to now has continued. They had requested that through the Ministry of Agriculture, FRA should set up depots, at least 3, 2 in the northern region, Chief Musaka and Chief Chikola, then in the central region, Chief Karilel and Chief Mlonga, then in the southern region, Chief Mjimanzovu. So they're asking that when is FRA going to set up these depots so that at least these people, our farmers, should be able to sell their maize to FRA in order for them not to continue being harassed each time they take their 1 or 2 bags of maize or mealie meal at the border. So they want to get this assurance as soon as possible since it's now marketing season. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture, please can we be precise when we are asking questions?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would humbly ask the Honorable Member to write a letter to our office or to FRA and give me a copy so that we open these 3 depots. Where you want us to open depots to buy, we are very happy. But it's where you're asking us for depots to sell in a place like Kipushi, Kasumbalesa, the border areas, Chipata, Nakonde, then we become very worried because then the maize is simply taken out of the country. But for us to buy the maize, we are very happy to come. So please write a letter and I can assure the member, Madam Speaker, that we will open those depots. I thank you.
The Honorable Member for Bwana Mkubwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for your statement. Minister, like you've mentioned not too long ago, we had high prices of mealie meal, I think, which caused a lot of discontent among Zambian people. And there was a lot of firefighting just to ensure that these prices are kept. Minister, there's a World Bank report that there's a looming food crisis, I think, in the world. And you've earlier mentioned that we were, in the region, Zambia was the only country which had maize. What measures are you putting in place to ensure? Because some of these countries, our neighboring countries, have been mentioned in that report, that they'll be going through that food crisis, to ensure that we are not affected, because it's an issue of supply and demand. What measures have you put in place as Minister of Agriculture to ensure that we don't go through the same crisis we went through? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Unfortunately, that is the time that we can take questions on. I can see there's a lot of interest. However, the Honorable Minister has promised he is going to come back with another ministerial statement, but Honorable Member for Matelo is insisting that he wants to ask a question. Maybe I'll give him an opportunity as the last question to be asked.
Thank you, Madam.
Before you ask Honorable, maybe the Minister first should come and answer, then you can ask.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I'm grateful to the Honorable Member for Banamkubwa. Madam Speaker, with the security organs of this country, we are not going to stop the surveillance on the border areas, on the roads of Zambia, inter-district, inter-provincial, to check that we protect the little food that we have. We are going to continue. Honorable Mwimbu is here. We are going to continue to make sure that we have got patrols. Honorable Minister of Defense is there. We are going to make sure that we continue checking. But indeed, and we have said that we also use civilian, protection, because it worked very well. Where Zambians are told, don't allow your food to cross borders illegally. You will be hungry, and it worked well. But let me say this, Madam Speaker, to the Honorable Member for Banamkubwa and Honorable Member Minister for Water. If each one of us, Madam Speaker, can grow just enough maize like the size of this building, you will be able to have more than 12 bags of maize. And those 12 bags of maize, Madam Speaker, are enough to feed a family, an average family in Zambia for 1 year. We need to encourage ourselves to cultivate, to produce just 12 bags of maize. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 12. One bag is enough for an average family. Then it would exclude all of us from the market looking for meal. And we will leave the maize that is produced for export to give us foreign exchange. Madam Speaker, this is a very, very serious plea to the members of the House and for them to tell the constituents. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mateo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving us, the opposition here, a voice to speak and give checks and balances to the executive. Many thanks to the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Ruben Mutoro, for the succinct statement. Madam Speaker, I'll read so that I'm brief. The statement was to the point, and the focus, Madam Speaker, year in, year out, my concern on behalf of farmers of Zambia, commercial farmers and subsistence farmers, is that the crop forecast seems to be obtained wrongly or year in, year out, either exceeded. If a threshold is said the production will be here, it's either overproduction or underproduction, be it for maize, tobacco, or soybeans. Madam Speaker, soybeans, speaking for soybeans, the minister in his statement said the production has been 50% of what was forecast last year. And speaking to Mount Meru, Madam Speaker, they are now offering half the price of what our farmers' cost price was. They are offering 6,500 kwacha per ton, which doesn't even cover the farmers' cost price. It's because production is 50% more than the minister gave us as a forecast last year here. Where is the problem, Madam Speaker, with the forecast? Madam Speaker, my funso. My funso. Uri Pusho. My question is to the minister. And Madam Speaker, this is not a traditional question. I'm very serious here as I'm asking, and there are many farmers listening out there. Madam Speaker, given that the Eastern Province is actually one of the top 3 agricultural top production in the country by any crop, maize, soybeans, tobacco. Madam Speaker, cotton, soybeans, mention all the provinces. I won't mention other provinces.
Honorable member, can you be precise? We don't have much time. Remember, it was a bonus question, so use your time properly.
Wisely. My question, Madam Speaker, given Eastern Province is one of the top 3 agricultural production in the country by any crop measured, why do we keep getting the focus wrong, Madam Speaker? Can the minister answer? Is it because of overindulgence of a certain crop, only highly grown in Chipata and Petauke and Lumezi, and that crop is illegal and only smoked indoor? Why everything in Eastern Province is coming out wrong? Is it because of overindulgence and smoking of that traditional smoke? I thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a very serious question.
Now that is something else. The smoking, honorable member, please can you withdraw, because you have not provided any evidence to show that people smoke a substance in Eastern Province.
Much obliged, Madam Speaker. The question is, why
withdraw the issue of smoking?
Madam Speaker, unreservedly withdraw the issue of smoking. The real question is, why is crop production in the country last 3 years either overstated or understated, be it for maize, soybeans, or groundnuts, or tobacco? That's the question, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the 3rd paragraph of my statement, this is what I indicated, that from the onset, I wish to state that the statistics that I'm about to give are produced through a universally adopted scientific methodology that has been used by the Ministry of Agriculture and Zambia Statistics Agency over a long time. Madam Speaker, the point I was trying to give here is this. These statistics are given by Zamstat, an institution created by Zambia to just provide statistics to the country. We do not, as Minister of Agriculture, interfere in the production of these figures. It has not been like that. They are produced by universally accepted standards, and there's a statistician general in this country who sits at what used to be Central Statistics to give us these figures. So we have nothing to do with them. Second part, Madam Speaker, is I wish to take cognizance of what Honorable Sampa is saying. Previously, we used to have a forecast before planting, when the crop is in field, and after harvesting. But that hasn't been the case in the recent past. And our aim is to get back to that so that we can get figures more accurately by looking at what was predicted and what has really come out. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. We can go to the next item. Question for oral answer, Understanding Order 74. The Honorable Member for Magoe.
I sincerely thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 270.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Magoe is asking the Minister, A, whether the government has any plans to upgrade the Magoe Rural Health Center to a mini hospital. B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. C, if there are no such plans, why? Response is as follows, Madam Speaker. Government has no plans to upgrade Magoe Rural Health Center to a mini hospital. B, Madam Speaker, as stated in Part A of the question, government has no plans to upgrade Magoe rural health center to a mini hospital. Therefore, Part B of the question falls off. C, Madam Speaker, the House may wish to note that health services in the country are delivered in a service delivery structure that aims at providing health services as close to the family as possible. To achieve this, the delivery system has been classified as follows: health posts, 2 health centers, rural urban, 3 first level hospital, 4 second level hospital, 5th third level hospital, 6 fourth level hospital. Going forward, government will only construct or upgrade health facilities using the above mentioned services delivery system. Magoye Rural Health Center has a Central Statistics Office projected catchment population of 8,740 for 2023, and therefore does not meet the criteria to be upgraded to the next level, which would be level 1 hospital. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Magoye.
I sincerely thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you will be aware that Magoye sits between Mazabuka and Monze, and there is a distance from the furthest health facility in Namaira, which is about 67 kilometers away. And you'd find that a good number of people find it very difficult to seek a service at either Monze or Mazabuka main hospitals. And it is of this reason why the people in Magoye are asking for this facility at Magoye Rural Health Center to be improved. How I wish you could consider, in your plan, to consider Magoye Rural Health Center at least to be upgraded so that our people could have a referral point to seek their healthy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health, do you have any comment on that?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, maybe just to say that we will be looking at the issue of Magoye in that regard. But as I've said, currently we are looking at population as a main driver to upgrading a facility. And in any case, Magoye as a rural health center can be upgraded by way of improving the kind of services that are being given to the people there. But that does not really mean that Magoye has to be upgraded to a first level hospital. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mitete.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, just to appreciate your recent visit to Western Province. Madam Speaker, mentioning the mini hospitals, what plan, Minister, do you have for the country concerning mini hospitals, more so districts like Mitete that has none, but I'm talking of national-wide concerning mini hospitals. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Mitete, the question 270 is constituency-based. It's talking about a mini hospital in Magoye Rural Health Center. So that issue that we have brought about, which is more national, can be directed to the minister in another question, because by asking her now, I believe she will be taken by surprise. The Honorable Member for Dudumwezi.
I thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you have indicated that one factor among others that you consider to upgrade is population. May I know what population you consider in this case for Magoye? Thank you so much.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, every level has a particular population assigned to a particular level. So, for example, a health post would be 3,500 population. And then the next one would also be another population, and so on and so forth. Currently, the population under Magoye is 8,740. So when you look at that population, it does not meet the number of people that would require a level 1 hospital. I have already indicated that the issue here is that these, what you are calling mini hospital, for us now, they are simply health centers, either urban or in the rural, and that's how we are looking at them. We're not looking at them as a hospital. We're looking at them as an improved health center. It's just a health center. And I did indicate yesterday that currently we are going to expand services at that level of a facility. For example, I did indicate the issue of the maternity annexes being added to all the health centers in the country, whether rural or urban, as a way of improving on service delivery at that level. Now, level 1 is a district hospital. So in between level 1 and a rural health center, we have no mini hospital story under this administration. So yes, you can call it a mini hospital for purposes of, because that's what they were called, and so people will ask us those questions, but the answer is simple, that we have risk classified all the facilities, and that will stick to those facilities as has been already explained, that first of all you have health posts, and then under health posts you have health centers, and then you have first, second, third, and fourth levels. And these levels, we are going to also specify the various services that will be given at each level, and also the issue of population, and then the issue of distance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we proceed, Honorable Member for Pambashe wants to raise a point of order, but I was just indicating to him that he was out most of the time. But now he wants to walk in and raise a point of order. What's the point of order, Honorable Member for Pambash?
I thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for graciously granting me the opportunity to raise a point of order that would have been raised contemporaneously yesterday on the Minister of Transport and Logistics, who was performing the duty of the Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Urban Development. This was due to factual information that I wanted to retrieve.
Order, Honorable Member, then you are out of order. If that matter happened yesterday, you could not raise it. I will suggest that you put in something in writing to my office, and then it will be attended to.
Okay.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Magoye, you have another question?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm a little bit confused over the population as indicated by the Honorable Minister, because given the statistic for 2010, I don't have the current one, but the number is 71,231, meaning that we are within the catchment as indicated by the Honorable Minister. So I just wanted to correct her on the part of the population, 71,231.
The Honorable Minister, the figures have been given. What is your reaction to that?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it reads Magoye Rural Center, has a Central Statistics Office projected catchment population, not population, but catchment population of 8,740 for 2023, and therefore does not meet the criteria to be upgraded to the next level of care. And Madam Speaker, there was a question as to what would be the next level of care in terms of population. The next level of care from where Magoye is, because I said 3,500, the next level would then be 10,000 for rural health center, and then 30,000 for urban health center, 80,000 for level 1 hospital, which is a district hospital, 200,000 for a general hospital, which is second level hospital. And then third level, above 800,000, that is for a teaching hospital. And then lastly, the specialized hospital would be obviously would be at national level, meaning the whole population, the whole nation. So to that effect, I still say that Magoye does not qualify to be given a district hospital which would have a catchment area of 80,000. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This facility, Magoye, from Magoye to the nearest hospital is 67 kilometers. So this community, which is living around this area of Magoye, is 67 kilometers away from a facility where there's a doctor. Wouldn't the minister really look into the issue of saving this community by upgrading? What I understand, Madam Speaker, is that upgrading means nearing, closing up the gap of the doctor to the community. You are bringing the doctor closer to the people. Wouldn't this be a factor of consideration? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, thank you. The left is back and the noise is something else. On a lighter note, welcome back. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, obviously the needs for doctors, the needs for health services to be as close to the people, that issue cannot be overemphasized. But at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, we have to do things according to our capacity as a nation. And therefore, here where we're sitting here, and many of these parliamentarians, if you ask them, Madam Speaker, they'll tell you that they have populations of people that have to walk even longer distance than that. It is the intention of government that one day soon we can get to that level. And so we shall continuously continue, except that we need to do these things in such a way that we make sure that the whole country has some level of quality health service delivery, whilst appreciating that point. Thank you.
Thank you. As the time is now 16:40 hours, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a health break.
The House has just taken a 20-minute health break, and currently under consideration is questions for oral answer under Standing Order 74 and question 270, which was posed by Mr. Mwemba Malambo, who is Magoye Member of Parliament to the Minister of Health, is the question that was being considered, and the Minister was responding to the follow-up questions that the Members of Parliament was asking after the Minister of Health had responded to the question that was posed.
I have it. That's what is going on the floor of the House, just like my colleague has